A common misperception, there's a couple common misperceptions about agentic commerce. Number one is the definition. There's a set of people that like to define agentic commerce as being only those transactions that have no human interaction. And that's fine, you can define it however you want. And definitions matter and all that kind of stuff. So I always try to understand your definition so we can have a cohesive conversation. What drives me crazy though is there is a set of people that then use that definition to then say, and they ignore the fact that AI is improving all the other parts of the process, and that they basically use this logic. They say, I'm going to define it as only those things that can be 100% automated, and in that definition, the only thing you would really use that way is toilet paper. Therefore, the addressable market of agentic commerce is reordering toilet paper. That's basically essentially the argument. I reject that argument because they're using a definition to trick you that this is not a big thing. That is incorrect, because the data is telling us, and every chief digital officer I talk to is seeing it in their customer base, that consumer behavior through the entire research, find, and the discovery process is changing. So you cannot just define your way away from that. It is going to, if you do, you're basically putting your head in the sand. That drives me crazy. Another common misperception with all these protocols that come out, there's a lot of vendors that do great work around blocking bad actors. So there's a lot of noise around bad bots that are doing terrible things. Most of what we see just sits on existing e-commerce rails, which are very secure, and there's usually a credit card in there. So, the credit cards give you a fair amount of consumer protections, and maybe you ordered something that and again, people use that definition of an agent to then paint these scenarios that could happen, but I've yet to see a merchant that we work with or a consumer, and I would hear about this, that has had some kind of a fraudulent thing go on.